Let me start with talking about Hong Kong a bit, where I am now working. This is, we call it one of the smartest city in the world. So when I came here, I thought I should also be smart in this city. So I was acquiring knowledge, and this is inundated by so many information and so many happenings. So after a few months, I made a card, business card, with very little information here, but just the QR code. The reason I just explained to Mr. Ricky Chang that this is a smart city, and I should be as smart as Hong Kong. So I made this card like that. So this is an appreciation for Hong Kong, actually. As it is said that while you are in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I am doing as the Hong Kongers doing. Bangladesh, since our independence, we have faced a lot of challenges, like poverty was an issue. We are almost very frequently faced with natural disasters, and one of the very recent phenomena, that is the one of the world's largest refugee crisis from Myanmar. So despite all such enormous challenges, Bangladesh has traveled a notable journey, particularly in the past 1 decade. And in last year, in 2018, we attained the criteria for becoming, from coming out from the least development country status. The last decade, the economy grew with the average growth of 6% GDP growth rate. And last financial year, the economy grew at 7.86%, which was the highest so far. And this year, the economy will grow at a rate of 8.1%. That is the growth rate projected by also the Asian Development Bank at 2018-2019. Simultaneously, the literacy rate in Bangladesh has risen remarkably over the past 1 decade. Now it's all-time high, 72%. This is according to data from UNESCO. And the population is a big problem. In Hong Kong, in China, in Europe, the population is aging. In Bangladesh, this is quite the opposite. It's a young nation. And more than 57% of the population are below the age of 25. In China, the average working age is 42, I understand, right now. In Bangladesh, this is 26. And this is a people of 160 million people. So a lot of young people, and they are ready to serve. So if you need in Hong Kong also, you can bring in a lot of skilled people from Bangladesh. Bangladesh in global perspective. We are already the second largest exporter of garments in the world, but we are not keeping ourselves restricted in only garments. We are now diversifying in all other sectors, and we now say that Bangladesh is producing from ships to chips. We are exporting ships to European countries. We are producing chips also. If you follow the statistics from Hong Kong Statistics Department, the list of products that are exported from Bangladesh to Hong Kong, you'd be surprised to see the exhaustive list of products. Even I was surprised to know that we even produce the golf kits and export to Hong Kong. Did you know that? I also didn't know that. So many things, you just name it, we are producing in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is offering such a prospective market for investment. A lot of other surprising things to share. Let me share with you. But before that, I will give you one, this is a non-starter actually. There are 2 reports. One is the Global Competitiveness Report 2018 of World Economic Forum, and the other is the World Bank Doing Business Report 2018. Can I move forward? Okay. So both these reports have put Bangladesh at the top, at the bottom layer of the index. But despite such, poor ranking, Bangladesh is moving ahead. I will give you example why. I would like to refer to the recent report of HSBC. This is called The World in 2030. And in this report, HSBC has done in-depth analysis of 75 economies, and they have put Bangladesh at the top of the list, saying the Bangladesh will be the fastest growing nation in the next 1 decade till 2030, and Bangladesh will be the biggest mover in global GDP ranking. From 42nd now, as per HSBC report, it will be at 26th position globally in 2030. So it's not only HSBC, then come to the Economist Intelligence Unit report on Bangladesh. They are saying the same thing, saying that Bangladesh is one of the fastest growing nation, and the growth of the economy is supported by a growing domestic market and also industrialization. Then I would like to refer to World Bank report, which came out last month, a report called the Development of Bangladesh in 2019. So in this report also, the World Bank is saying the same thing. It's saying that driven by industry, Bangladesh's economy continues to grow at an impressive rate, and saying that Bangladesh will be among the 5 fastest growing economies in the world. So this report has put a growth outlook of Bangladesh, which is very stable and strong, and they are giving several reasons why the economic growth is so stable and strong. So I'm quoting from this report of World Bank. They are saying that the sound macroeconomic policies, then resilient domestic demand, then growing export earning and foreign remittance, and substantially improved electricity production, and also supported by bumper agricultural harvest. All these are stimulating the growth of economy of Bangladesh. This is not the all. Since 2009, at that time, our per capita GDP was only around 500. There has been a tripling increase. Now it is almost 2,000, the per capita income. Why economy is growing and showing such spectacular growth? There is another very important aspect which is often not mentioned, but I would like to indicate to that achievement of Bangladesh. That is the participation of women in the development process. I would like to quote to World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report. For the past 4 years, this report has put Bangladesh at the top of the South Asian nations in ensuring gender equality. Not only that. In this report, there is a sub-index, it's called Women Empowerment. And this World Economic Forum report put Bangladesh at top 5 in the world. This is amazing. So Bangladesh is the 5th most women empowered country in the world. And the same report is explaining that keeping 50% of the population who are women out of the development process, a country cannot prosper. And Bangladesh is doing wonderfully well in integrating women in the development process, and that is reflected in the economic growth that we are achieving right now. And as Mr. Ricky Chan has already said about Belt and Road, we are signatory of Belt and Road, and Bangladesh is one of the largest recipient investment under Belt and Road, and last year China was the single largest investor in Bangladesh to the tune of about $500 million US. And I understand this is growing, and we are moving towards achieving our Vision 2021, that is, we would be becoming a middle income country by 2021. And by 2041, Bangladesh dreams to be a developed country. And to achieve that goal, we need your support. We need more investment. And on a personal note, our Honorable Foreign Minister has asked all the ambassadors and heads of mission to set a target of foreign investment. And he asked us to say how much investment will come from your country. So I said, from Hong Kong, there would be an investment from 500 million to several billions. So please save my job. Please come to Bangladesh and invest and put the figure high so that what I said becomes true. So with this note, I end here. I know there will be a presentation from the chairman, Export Processing Zone, and also the general manager. So and of course, we'd be listening from Mr. Felix and other two gentlemen. That is the most interesting stories, from their experience, what they see in Bangladesh. Last but not the least, we have recently taken an initiative. From government, we make a lot of productions like books. People seldom read them. So I requested one writer here, Mr. Mark O'Neill. He is a British-born Irish citizen, but now settled in Hong Kong because his in-laws are in Hong Kong. She married to a Hong Kong lady. He has been here since 1978. So Mark has done an excellent job. So he has written a book on Bangladesh based on the experiences of Hong Kong investors in Bangladesh. So this book is an attempt to look at Bangladesh from the eyes, through the Hong Kong investors. And I think that book would also be interesting for you also. So we would share the books with you today. Hope it would be helpful and convincing. Thank you very much.